Welcome back everyone to my deadlift and bench video. This was Monday's footage of so first it's my deadlifts, and then after I do bench, I'm working up to the 5 rep max here. And today this was like this day was a little, my deadlifts felt really good compared to the week before. And the week before, what I did for top single was 402.5, but it was elevated. Like I had mentioned, it was on my last videos, and it was elevated, and like my left side was weaker than the other one. And so this, like I wasn't expecting to feel this good. That was a 376 top single, so I could get ready for the 365 right here, 5 rep max. And honestly, this was pretty easy. I didn't want to work up to a 5 rep max until I found it. I just wanted to stop right here because I just wanted to do the 5 rep max with 365. I didn't have like a set number. I wasn't trying to go too crazy because I didn't think I was going to feel that good. And honestly, this was like really easy. There was I say RPE 7. It probably looks hard, but it was really easy. Easier than I thought. And then I did 4 sets of 4 with 358.5. And that was pretty easy. It was a pretty real easy deadlift day. And I have, like, for those who don't know anything about competition plates, I have the pounds and kilos, like the denominations on the bottom of every video, because if you see me with 3 plates, you'll think, oh, that's not 365, that's 315. But if you've never used those, you wouldn't know that, and that's why the numbers are there. Those are 55-pound plates, the red ones. The blue ones are 44 pounds, and the little black ones that you saw earlier were 22 pounds, and then the yellow ones are 33. And then there's 11 pounds, and then 5.5 pounds. No, 2.7 pounds. So it's pretty much the same thing as the pounds, it's just a little bit more. Instead of 2.5, they're 2.75. Instead of 5s, they're 5.5. Instead of 10s, they're 11. Instead of 25s, they're 22s. 35s, they're 33s. And instead of 45s, they're 44, which is pretty much the same. I'm pretty sure most 45-pound bar plates aren't really 45. And then instead of there's an extra one, obviously the 55-pound ones, which are the red ones. And overall, that was a pretty good day today. But I think what I was looking forward to more was the bench. And I worked up to a 5 rep max on bench, and it was I was disappointed on that one. I think out of all of them, I think that was the easiest one. My weakest lift that I've never have confidence with. I'm barely starting to get comfortable and really get confident with like what numbers I think I can do. And while I'm repping it, I think I can do more. And before, I'd always be like, oh nope, like I'm stopping before. Like I'd always do the bare minimum, but I'd be scared. Like if I did 5 rep max, like let's just say I would stop like 3, I'd be scared already, and I'd get shaking, and I'd slow down. And that's not what I felt at all today. I went up to 215.5 for a 5 rep max. And like I had really got used to comfortable with that weight during quarantine. So I didn't think it would be that easy, but it was. And honestly, I was pretty mad because I think I could have done 221 for 5. And well, at least I know now for next week when I do the 3 rep. Here it is, the 215.5. And honestly, it was like bench. Some reps might look sticky like that one. It might look a little slow, but it's just the way I am on bench. But it was like really is the 4th one. And on the 5th, like right here, I would say honestly it was RPE, like, because I paused right there purposely. If it's too easy, I always pause. I would say it was a RPE 6.5 to 7. It was like seriously it felt easier than it looked. But what I was saying about the 3 rep max next week, I feel like I can probably do 226 for 3 rep max, because I could have done 221 for the 5. I just taking it pretty steady with these 5 rep, 3 rep maxes. They're not really maxes. They're just the most I feel like going that day without really killing myself. I don't want to be super like depleted and fatigued. And I ended up using that same weight. So since it was so easy, I did 3 sets of 4 with that same exact weight. And it was honestly really easy. I wasn't used to anyone lifting off for me during quarantine. But since I had someone, I think I used the lift off. Well, obviously for the 5 rep max, and I think for like some of the sets, but not all of the sets. I mean, if you have someone to lift off for you, might as well. And I'm doing like the rear delts with the supersetter with the lateral flies, but mainly like the lateral flies, mainly the rear delts I'm doing, because I really do that to keep my rotator cuffs and like pretty much my whole upper shoulders, upper back, whatever, posterior shoulders and upper back really warm during the bench, because I really getting good at contracting that while I'm benching. So it's really to superset the blood flow and the rotator cuff. I know rear delts don't hit your rotator cuff as much, but I really feel it in my scapulas, that's for sure. And I really want the blood around there to be tight, because that's what I want during the bench press. And it was an overall easy day for bench. When I start doing my 1 rep max, I For the squat and deadlift, I say squat. A deadlift is a little tricky because of that cheap bar I had been using. I'm not really sure what I want to do for the 1 rep max. I know that's 2 weeks away from now. But for the squat 1 rep max, I want to beat my old one. So I'm probably going to do 3 rep max squat for 370, which was that was my max at my last competition. That's the If I feel good enough, I'm not gonna promise anything like I've been doing, but I know for a fact like I'm gonna be my 1 rep for sure. Top single will be more than 370 for sure, because that's what I did in December 8th when I actually maxed out and it felt pretty easy. And yeah, that's pretty much like for the video. That's pretty much like for the main lifts how it went. And like just this is some of the video footage of, I think it was just one set of the dips and the front squats I did, but I didn't show it all. I'm really getting used to the dips to like really stretch it out, my chest, but I don't go too low. As you can see, I think my form's pretty good when I do it, but I don't want to tear anything, and my left shoulder hurts, so that's why I don't do them weighted. And I always finish it off with some static stretching, like you've been seeing. This is what I do for the upper body, and then of course I have the lower body that you'll see. But as I said, for the 1 rep max deadlift, I'm probably gonna go for like 430. I don't know, it probably won't be that easy. My deadlift number is so down from that cheap bar I was using. They're not as good as they used to be. But for 3 rep max squat, I already said for bench 226 probably, and for squat I'm gonna probably go for 352. I already mentioned that in my last video. So yeah, 352, and one will probably be more than 370. I'm not saying what number, but it'll be more than 370. And like I said, as always, my videos, not my videos, my sessions have been feeling perfect. You know, the benching 3 times a week. Wednesday Olympic lifts, just switch off. I'm gonna be doing snatch this week. I haven't been showing that. I don't think I'm gonna get too technical on those videos. I'll probably just throw them in because I'm not really like preparing for like a meet or anything for the Olympic lifts. I probably will early next year or whenever like I'm done like focusing on powerlifting this year. But I don't really want to focus too much on like the technical standpoint and like giving like pointers on all that. But I haven't been doing the Olympic lifts as much. I mean, I was still doing them over quarantine, but I wasn't like focusing 2 times a week on them like I'd like to. I was just doing once a week, and now I'm just doing once every other week. And I don't know, I haven't really lost strength or flex like mobility for them, which is good news. But like I've this static stretching I'm getting back to doing like I used to before. I used to do like everything you see I'm doing here. I would do 15 seconds each on the upper body, like what I'm doing. I think I'm just counting that in my head, but I'd actually have a stopwatch. And then for the lower body, I'd do 30 seconds each side or each stretch. And now I'm kind of just doing it by feel because I'm kind of just getting slowly back into it. I think my flexibility is still what it used to be, but I'm just, slowly easing into it because it's better than nothing, better than what I used to do. And I'm still getting used to this split that I have, this week split, this program, whatever you want to call it, because like I said, it's not like a strict written out program that I had done. But the split is Monday deadlift bench, Tuesday squat shoulder press, Wednesday Olympic lift A or B bench because I bench 3 times a week, and then Thursday will be the deadlift and shoulder press now, and then Friday will be squat and bench, and Saturday Sunday rest. But I used to do whole body. I used to deadlift and squat together, and people say like it gets you fatigued fast and less energy, and I did that for years and I was very used to it, and I did get my numbers went up with that. But now I separated them. But I used to do upper body on my last program, and then lower body, and then arms and cardio Wednesday, and then do all that twice. I usually just rest one day, but now I'm doing 2 days. But I didn't wake up today to go to the gym, so now the whole thing's messed up. But you just fix it the next week. You can't do anything if if you're sleeping 3 hours, going to the gym, and then napping the rest of the day, it's gonna happen eventually if you're so drained. But that doesn't give me excuses to not go and finish the rest of the week out. It's still 2 rest days. It's just gonna be Wednesday and probably rest Sunday. So it's awkward rest days compared to what I'm used to. But that happens, and it's no big deal as long as you rest, recover, like I'm doing right here. Stretching, I think everyone should get used to doing it, even if it's like a quick stretch, like most people do. Like probably not everything I'm doing 30 seconds each, but you could probably just start with all of them 10 seconds each, and then get progressively overload the time you do or the set. I don't do sets, I just do them once. But the time and sets, if you want to do it like that, you can do it like a circuit, like how I'm doing, or one at a time. But this way is just way faster. So that wraps it up for the deadlift and bench video. I said I was gonna upload 4 times this week, and this is my 3rd video, so I still have a 4th one coming up. So that's pretty good progress. I'm pretty proud of the progress that I made with the channel, especially after that long layoff. So that wraps it up, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.